Hey guys, so I just wanted to make a video really quick to run through a little part of my journey with having these non-epileptic seizures, something that is working for me. Now, is it eliminating my seizures? No, but is it working for me in a way of I'm feeling more motivated, I'm feeling better about myself, and I'm feeling a little bit more like I may not be able to control these seizures yet, but I'm not letting them control me. Yes, and that I think is huge when we can find that. So I do think it's going to look different for everybody, different personalities, different walks of life, you know, where you're at. Are you home alone, or do you have a family? Do you have a support system? So obviously it's going to look different, but I just wanted to share kind of what's happening in my little world right now that I've decided. So my last video, if you guys watched it, I got a little feisty in it, and since then I have stayed a little feisty. But you guys, I just had this point of I can control my mindset. Like, I know who I am. The seizures aren't who I am. Everything that has changed in my life because of them, those things weren't who I am or who I was. Those were just a part of my life. So it's fine for me to be upset that I can't have those things or do those things and be a little disappointed, but I get to choose if I'm gonna stay in that place, and I get to choose how deeply that's gonna affect me, if that makes sense. I really believe that now. Last week I probably wouldn't have said that. So progress, right? My little update so far, we still haven't found like a doctor who really knows what this is, or even a psychiatrist who has ever treated it. So still kind of in that praying place for the right people, or just for the right indicator of what to do. But I am learning more and more about people who have been diagnosed with it, and how vastly different it looks for everybody, and how vastly different each source is. So with that being said, I am continuing with my counselor, and she's amazing. You know, she basically has said, I don't know exactly what this is. I've not treated it before. She's reached out and upward, you know, to see if anybody has, and it's kind of a no-go right now. But her approach is that she is going to walk through it with me and learn with me, and until the time where we find something different. So we've got a couple theories that we're working on right now, and I just feel like we're on a good track. And at least I am being honest with myself and with her on where I'm at with it, and I think that's huge. So let me first encourage anybody going through a diagnosis that they don't know what it is, it's confusing, or they're not sure, or doctors aren't really being helpful, you know, I would seek counseling. Regardless, whether it's something with PNES where they say you should go see a therapist, or it's something totally 100% what they believe is strictly scientific, medical, having to do with your body, I would still reach out to a counselor, honestly, guys, because you need to be able to process what's going on. And anytime something feels like it's controlling your life other than you, you need to be able to process that and kind of get out of the situation and have someone help you look in. So first and foremost, I encourage that thoroughly. Make sure it's someone you trust, someone you feel like pretty quickly you can be open with. For me, it takes a little bit longer, but I love my counselor now. So anyway, I wasn't going to talk about that, but there you go. So the thing that I decided to share through my feistiness is that I'm going to take control of my days again. And, you know, while that may not look like I can go drive and get coffee if I want, or I can go drive to the grocery store if we need, I still can find areas where I have control. So what I have found, because I'm home alone during the day for the most part, is that I make lists. And off and on, I guess you could say I was a list maker. I was one of those people that before would make a list after I had already done it, so that I could just check it off. It's kind of silly looking back, but lists have helped me in so many ways. So one, if I have a seizure when I'm alone, I'm documenting them now. This is my little seizure book, right? I think it's important to document them and how you feel and what was going on right then. But guys, I couldn't have just some piece of paper or something that was like blah, blah, blah. So my friend gave me this a while ago, and I'm so thankful for it, because at least when I go to write my seizures, it's really pretty and cute. matters to me. So it's the little things, right? So anyway, I'm logging them and just seeing, can we find any connections? I can't really tell how long they last or anything like that, but I can document how I feel after and the time frame of when it happened. So that's the first thing that I've really started doing there. And from a mindset standpoint, every time I have one and document it, I'm looking back and trying to find something positive, right, to say. So I was home alone, I didn't break anything. That's a plus. Or there have been times where I don't think I'm having the full seizure with the body movements. I'm just having moments of confusion, like kind of I just disappear for a second, I guess is how to describe it. Those are more frustrating for some reason for me, but I'm counting those as benefits, that they're smaller. I feel like I regain a little bit more alertness, so I'm gonna count those as wins. Anyway, so that's the first list that I have going. But every morning, right, I got this a while ago, but I love this planner. On the front of it, I have a sticker. It says "Do it scared," y'all. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. You wouldn't do anything if you didn't just choose to do it scared. So anyway, so lists help me for a number of reasons. If I have a seizure and I'm confused, I'm trying to train my mind that I'm okay, that I'm safe, and how to help myself get out of it without other people. Not saying I'm not going to call other people if I need to, okay? But I'm just trying to train my brain to know we're safe, we're okay, don't have to go into freak out mode, right? So if I have a list to look at, especially when I've been confused, then that's really helpful, because I can go, like for me, for some reason, the thing that I did last before the seizure, a lot of times I don't remember doing it. I think I still have to do it. So to look at a list where I've checked things off re-puts me in that spot of the day of where I'm at, instead of having to relive the whole morning, if that makes sense. So that's another good reason for list. But here's what my mornings are looking like right now. This is what's helping. I'm getting up in the morning, and I've decided that I'm going to do the things that I would do prior to seizures that are not harmful, right? So I always would come down and feed my doggy, my basset hound, and then I would get coffee for my husband and I and bring it back up, and then we relax for a little bit before we would both have to get ready for work. Now it's just him getting ready for work. That sounds silly, like I have to choose to do that now, but I'm sure a lot of you understand, in the mornings now it's really hard. I've always been a morning person, and now it's really hard to get up. And then mornings like today, like first thing off the bat, I had a seizure. I mean, just went up, first thing got up, I had a seizure. That makes it harder to not just crawl back in bed, because not only just mentally, but physically it's exhausting. So first thing, right off the bat, I'm making a decision. I'm taking control of my day, and I'm going to go and I'm going to get coffee for us, and we are going to keep that routine. We're going to. So automatically I feel like I'm in control, right? Like I'm going to control how this day is going to play out. I'm not going to crawl back in bed. And you know what, guys? If there are days that you need to just stay in bed, there's no guilt with that. It's not about guilt. You have to take care of yourself. I'm just talking about how midway through and end of the day, I can feel like I still shined through my day, not the seizures controlled my day. So after my husband ends up going to work, then I sit down with this and I go through my list, right? The first thing I do is I get in my Bible. I got my Bible right here. Oh, I love this Bible so much. Anyway, I get in my Bible and I go through my reading plan, right? So my church right now, shout out to Franklin Gateway Church because I love them. But every day they post readings, like it's like a Bible plan, right? And I always write down like I'm a day behind because I like having it for the next morning, first thing. So I always have written down the scriptures. So the very first thing I do on my own after my husband's at work is I open my Bible, okay? I encourage that for anybody because you can find so much in this book, okay? But for some people it might look like putting on music that's inspirational or helpful, or I mean really whatever. Like the other day I put on a kids movie because it made me happy. While I was cleaning, I had a kids movie playing. So really, like, find something that's going to give you that boost, that's going to give you that sense of like, okay, it's not just about me, and I can do this, and I have support, and this is a feel-good thing for me, right? I'm not saying that the Bible is all about just a feel-good thing for me, but in these moments, yeah, I lean in on it because it gives me that boost and kind of opens my eyes to other things. So anyway, that's the first thing I do in the morning. Check that off, right? Check, check, check. Like, for example, today, my next thing on the list, and this is going to sound so simple, but this is where we're at, and it's okay. The next thing on my list is to check the dishes if the dishes need done, because they pretty much always need to be done. So I check the dishes. Every time I come back to my list and check it off, I also check in with how I'm feeling. Like, how am I feeling physically? Am I feeling really tired? How am I feeling emotionally? You know, have I had a seizure or not? And it's just kind of like it gives me a baseline after everything so that if I do have a seizure, I can come back to that baseline and not have to start back at the beginning is what it feels like. So the next thing, like, I'm going to try to gather up some trash, right, and stuff like that. I'm going to try to clean the bathroom downstairs because it desperately needs it. Those are all things on my list right now. Very simple, but like I said, I'll probably put a movie on in the background that's happy so that when I feel like getting the trash is more exhausting than it ever has been, instead of beating up on myself, I've got something positive to turn my attention to, even if it's a goofy kids movie. Seriously, we need positive things to direct our attention. I'm convinced of it. So anyway, I also have on my daily list a small couch workout. I think I shared a video of that before. I always check in with how I'm feeling before this. Those are tricky because afterwards I always feel a boost. But sometimes during, things get a little wonky or I get a little confused. So I kind of have to weigh out the benefit, the pros and cons there. So I check in with how I'm feeling beforehand before I decide to do that. And it's always on my couch. So if something happens, I can just sit right down. So, anyway, so one way that the lists for the day help me, right, is, like I said, they give me a baseline. They give me something to refer back to if I get confused. But they also give me a sense of accomplishment. And I know I sound like a broken record talking about these small things of accomplishments, but they're so important. They are so important, you guys, to feel accomplished, even if it's something tiny. Every morning I make the bed now. I never did that before. I didn't care. I'm like, why make a bed when at night you're just going to mess it up again? Well, now every morning I make my bed because it looks nice and I feel like there's my first checklist, right, of accomplishment. And now every morning I'm opening the blinds. I'm opening the windows. I'm letting light in. And it's amazing how much just having some light in your house or wherever you are helps your mood. So, seriously, that's amazing. So guys, these simple little things of accomplishment, like to be able to check off, whoop, you know, like, oh my God, text, to check off I did the dishes. Might sound so simple and silly to some, but there, it's like, I did that. I determined I was going to do it today. I was going to control my day. I was going to control my mood. And I did it. Check. Cross it out. It's done, right? Like, accomplishment. Feeling accomplished in yourself is going to, it's going to put up this invisible barrier towards these other things that are going to try to attack you of like self-worth. Of you're not worth anything now because you can't do anything now and blah, blah, blah. So, seriously, feeling those things of accomplishment helps that so much for me. It is helping me so much, you guys. I feel like now I can actually express how I'm feeling through these things, as to where before, like, the shame of it kept me in a place where I was just completely moody. I was just probably feeling sorry for myself, which is natural at first, but I was close to sitting in it. And that last Feisty video, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I have to take control. I have to take control of my own health, my own life, my own day. And it starts with minute by minute, hour by hour for me, deciding how I'm going to spend it and taking control of it. So anyway, anybody with seizures, like, I don't know if this is helpful at all, but for me, guys, having a list and having a game plan for the day is amazing. It has helped me so much. And if it gets interrupted, if there's something on my list I can't do, I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm just going to move on to the next thing and go, okay, I still have the plan for the whole day. So this one little stumbling block is not going to completely mess me up. I have to go into it beforehand, and that's where reading the word and getting that encouragement in me beforehand really, really helps. Having a verse already in my mind helps prevent getting stuck in those places of like, I couldn't even do the couch workout today, or I couldn't even do the trash today because I got so tired and I was scared of having a seizure. You know what? What's going to change that mindset is going, I'm not doing the trash today. I'm a little worried I'm going to have a seizure, and that's natural and fine, and I have to listen to my body. So I'm doing the right thing by listening to my body and taking a break, or by not going up the stairs to do the trash up there. I'll get it down here, but I won't get it up there until I feel better, right? You have to find little compromises there, but ways to, instead of beating up on yourself, turn it into a positive of, I'm listening to my body. I think that's the first step in helping these seizures. I've got to listen to my body, right? So now I'm just getting on a rant, but guys, I just want to encourage you, like, don't let things control you. I know it's so hard when it feels like everything has control but you. It feels like that. But you have to choose to be the one who's going to control it, right? And also assess what you can have control over and what you can't. I had to write it all out. I can't control when my seizures are happening right now. I can't control getting places or driving, really. Okay? I can't control if I have someone come pick me up and they take me to go grocery shopping. I can't control if I have a seizure in the store. Okay? But what I can control is the fact that being able to go grocery shopping so that my family has groceries is a huge accomplishment factor, and that's me choosing to have control over my day, not the seizures controlling my day. You can do it. We can do this, right? In the meantime, while we're looking for cures and ways to be healed, and we're praying, and we're finding out triggers, I guess. In the meantime, take control of your day. You can do it. Like lists, whatever it looks like for you. If you're not a list person, that's fine, but something to keep track that at the end of the day you can go, you know what, I did really good. This is a whole new life for me right now, but I'm kicking butt. I did really good. I accomplished everything I set out to, or 50% of what I set out to, or, build it up slowly, but look back and praise yourself for it. Because I know these things are not small tasks. They might be for other people, but for people with seizures or illness, they're just not small tasks. They're huge. So give yourself some credit. Give yourself a little boost and know that you can do it, but set a goal. Like set things out specifically of how you're going to feel like you took control of your day and feel accomplished. Anyway, I hope that helps or encourages someone. Again, if not, I get to process. Do you guys have any other tips or tricks, or when you start your morning, do you notice a difference in if you have seizures that day based on how your morning goes? I'm just really curious about what happens with other people and their seizures and their PNES, and I know there's lots of us out there. So please feel free to share any feedback or any suggestions. I love it, and I love you guys. Have a wonderful and blessed day.